Well, good evening, everyone. Michael, soothing here. What I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to pick a magazine from these special interest magazines to talk about. I had a birthday recently, and so from one daughter, I got some special interest magazines that are my main interests, and I'm going to pick one of those, and we'll go through it. Could be fishing, could be astronomy, could be history, World War II. World War II might not be very soothing, so I'll probably pick one of these instead, this one or this one. My daughter Rachel made me this work of art, but it's quite unique because it's not made with paint or acrylic or anything like that. It's made with a wax system, and so all of this is various types of wax. And she made an interesting frame with these keys on the outside, right? So I think that's pretty interesting. And she's made me some art before. And I got some other things. I'm not going to show you everything, just a few highlights. I got this puzzle in order to do ASMR with it. It's called what's it called? Shining Fish. Shining Fish. And I'm thinking at some point in the future, we can work on this puzzle together while I ramble, and that might make for a relaxing ASMR video. So we'll do that sometime in the future. I got some other good gifts too, but I'm not really doing a gift video. What else shall I show you? This is like a Fitbit here. You know, it does all kinds of stuff. It monitors your exercise, your heart rate continuously. It has alarm function. It will do sleep. It shows you how much you slept. Like if I was to show you, my phone is somewhere else right now. But it links up to my phone to an app and shows me everything. Stuff's making noise right now. The refrigerator is making odd noises. So we won't look at World War II right now. Don't shoot, okay? I'm just the messenger. So what shall we pick? Astronomy or fishing? I think I'll save the fishing until I actually go fishing this spring, which will be very soon. And then we can talk about that and whatever experiences I had while fishing. So instead, I think we'll look at the Astronomy magazine. This is some warm tea, or is it hot tea? Pretty hot. But I need that to soothe my throat. So we'll look at this one. I haven't looked at it yet, so I don't know what's in it. But I do like the cover art pretty well. Rogue Planets. What interstellar travelers tell us about the galaxy. Are there planets that are interstellar? They don't go from one star to another one, do they? And that's what interstellar would mean. Choose a first scope for kids. Get ready to observe the moon. I've observed it a few times, actually. Yeah, Joanne got me, she got me this Fitbit type thing, but she got me a telescope one year, And we used it to do some observations of the moon and Jupiter, stuff like that. We don't get to observe much here because, of course, it's very... I'm going to move this just a little bit so I can get this magazine in view. Because you know in Oregon it's mostly rain, so exclusively moon globe. Oh, instead of an Earth globe, you can have a moon globe. Or for your flat earthers, you can have one made out of cheese, you know, that's a disc instead of a globe. And is close enough to touch with a high ladder, you know. Some of the flat earthers think the sun is very close, you know. It hovers just above the trees. They're lacking in education, aren't they? But this moon globe has 1,473 lunar features. Lunatic features, including 20 of the top Apollo and spacecraft landing sites. But you wouldn't be interested in that either if you were a flat earther, because you would say all of the moonwalks were faked, as well as all of the missions to the moon were faked. Elon Musk wants us to go to Mars, but even he admits that a mission to Mars would be a one-way trip. Did anybody see that movie with Matt Damon? 2021 Antarctica Solar Eclipse Cruise. That would be an interesting expedition. I hope they don't go too far, because they would fall off the far side of the Earth down there, and we wouldn't want that. All right. The unlikely story told by rogues. In 2017, astronomers discovered the first known interstellar asteroid, Oumuamua. It must have named it after a Hawaiian volcano or something, because it's all vowels. Oumuamua. So, yeah. Looking at Jupiter's moons. These are letters to Astro. Klaus Brash and Leo Ertz, in their very nice article about Jupiter's moons, mentioned that the moons were discovered by Galileo, and their names came from his contemporary, Simon Marius. Marius independently discovered the moons of Jupiter, but one day, after Galileo published Sidereus, there's 4 of the largest moons of Jupiter. I'll hold them up closer so you can see them. Moons of Jupiter. I don't want the reflection of the light on them. But yeah, it's Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. Europa's the one that's supposed to have lots of frozen ice on it. So maybe there's something under that ice. Who knows? Anyway, this guy goes on to correct who discovered what, but I don't care. Galileo was charged with heresy because they wanted to believe in a flat earth and things like. They wanted to believe that the earth was the center of the universe. Should I have a Ritz cracker right now? No, that will make for scratchy voice. We don't want that. The Inouye Solar Telescope has released its first image of a sunspot. I thought that was a great big cosmic eyeball looking at us. Maybe that's what it is. Since it began operating in late 2019, the U.S. National Science Foundation Inouye Solar Telescope, the world's largest solar observatory, has been wowing the world with close-up views of our star. Don't look at the sun through a telescope, folks. You need special equipment, or you won't have an eyeball left. Okay, so never do that. Rocket Origami, somebody has here. I don't know what rocket. A prototype plastic bladder that won't crack while pumping liquid fuel at ultra-cold temperatures. We need one of these in every household, right? Bent out of shape, the disk of our galaxy may have been violently warped by the Large Magellanic Cloud some 700 million years ago. It's still influencing the Milky Way, pulling our galaxy in the direction of the constellation Pegasus. Do you know our galaxy is going to run into another galaxy in the future, but we won't be alive to see it. Thank goodness. Bye-bye black hole, it says here. The Hubble and Chandra Space Telescope failed to find a supermassive black hole expected to lurk in the central galaxy of the cluster Abell 2261, suggesting a galactic merger ejected the black hole. Two galaxies merged, and they didn't like having the black hole there, so they ejected it and threw it out. Poor black hole, it must be lonely out there in space. No light, no mass, no nothing. Well, the mass is inside the black hole, but China's lunar loot returned. They retrieved several pounds of material from the moon. Cool. Let's see. China sent a heavy lifting Long March 5 rocket to the moon, or it sent the spacecraft to the moon. Their lunar lander performed several burn maneuvers, followed by braking burns that allowed it to enter orbit 125 miles above the lunar surface in a large NASA-type warehouse. Oh wait, no, that's not what it says. It eventually descended to a self-guided landing. It picked up some stuff and brought it back. It collected samples as far as 6.5 feet below the lunar surface. A molten ring galaxy forged. Instead of forged in steel, this was forged in space. Okay, the molten ring galaxy looks like a Salvador Dali painting, it says here. It's a Hubble Space Telescope image. I wonder how far away it is. It doesn't say. Pretty far, I think. What we have here, the ascent stage of Chang 5, that's the Chinese mission, lifts off from the lunar surface. A set of springs separated the ascent module and onward and so forth. Spidey sense, what's that? Reminds me of Jodi Arias for some reason. There was in that story, true story of Jodi Arias, who murdered her former boyfriend, there was some Spider-Man underwear involved called Spidey. Anyway, that's off topic, isn't it? Those of you who were with me on my other channel long ago will recall that. But anyway, I haven't forgotten Ms. Arias. I will get to her again in the future at some point. You guys have been giving me lots of ideas for videos. I hope to get to some of them. Some recent ones were talk about the rocket science career. I forgot to mute that thing over there. So pardon that noise. Okay, I went and muted the other computer so it will stop making loud sounds at us. Anyway, I forgot what we were talking about now. Astronomers spot a galaxy in midlife crisis. Oh, this is the galaxy that went out and bought a red Corvette and started hanging around nightclubs, trying to scam on younger girls. That must be what the story's about. Lost some weight and started going to a workout gym. Transitory phase. CQ4479. That's a common term we hear all the time at home, isn't it? Shown in this artist concept has both an actively growing supermassive black hole center and cold gas orange-brown at the outer edges that is still forming stars. Oh, now I remember. Rocket science career, someone said. Yeah, I'll discuss. I have old videos about that. If you look back on my video list, if you do a search on my channel, you'll find that I've done at least one or two about rocket science career. But I'll talk about it again in the future. And somebody wanted me to talk about another investment concept, and I read all your comments, guys, okay? So, how supermassive black holes kill their galaxies. Well, that is not very polite of the black hole to do, because the galaxy forms the black hole in the first place. It's like killing its parent. Maybe the galaxy was really annoying and overbearing or something, nagging the black hole all the time. And so the black hole decided to get revenge. I don't know. A Hubble chiaroscuro masterpiece. Countless artists through time. If you want to see this Hubble photo, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's not a work of it's not a human work of art. It's a God work of art, okay? Hubble, many artists have strived to capture the beauty of nature in their work, but Hubble does that with ease. Located some 1,350 light years from Earth, the stunning Herbig-Haro jet HH24, that's a pretty long name for that galaxy, contains a newborn star forming within a giant cloud of cool molecular hydrogen. As the cloud collapses due to gravity, it forms a thick disk of rotating material around the star. And as the star gobbles up this superheated material, some of it escapes as jets that shoot from the star's poles, heating nearby gas to thousands of degrees. You could cook a steak very quickly in the gas jets that come out from that star because they're thousands of degrees. Citizen astronomers map a near-Earth asteroid. Looks like kind of a potato, at least this one. Amateur astronomers found it and mapped it. Model poses. Oh, that's too sexy. Can't watch that one. Far-flung exoplanet resembles the long-sought Planet 9. Well, Planet 9 was supposed to be Pluto, and then they demoted poor Pluto, and now he's just a cartoon character and no longer a planet. So that's sad for Pluto. But they're still looking for another planet out there. And they're saying that maybe they found one, an exoplanet, HD 106906b. It sounds like the code for your SIM card in your phone or something. Anyway, they used the Las Campanas Observatory in Chile's Atacama Desert in order to see that. 8-year sun trail imaged with a beer can. Say what? In what may be the longest exposure photograph ever taken, this image captures the path of the sun over 2,953 days. More than 8 years at the University of Herefordshire Bayford-Bury Observatory in the UK. But a high-tech detector didn't take this record-setting image. It was a humble beer can lined with a photographic paper, acting as a low-tech pinhole camera. Interesting. Hard to figure out how it didn't get overexposed. Tea is comforting when it's cold and rainy outside. Hayabusa 2 delivers asteroid samples to Earth. How did that work? This was a Japanese spacecraft which landed on an asteroid and took samples and brought them to Earth. Very advanced space missions going on out there that none of us knew about. I think I'd heard of that one before, but I'm not sure. Celestial directions bring an added layer of confusion. Mare Orientale, the eastern sea, located on the left side of the moon, as viewed from Earth. This is the moon's western edge, way out here. They call them seas, but we don't think there was ever any water on the moon. I'm not going to read these articles because I have to make this video fairly short. You know, a half hour, something like that. So we're just going to skim through it. Seeing canals may not be so crazy after all. You know, they used to think in the early days of astronomy, they thought they saw canals on the surface of the planet Mars. And even early images I saw as a kid showed the canals, which you can't see now. You know, once they zoom in tighter. But there may have been water, and there may be water on Mars. So they're saying, hey, maybe that's not such a stupid idea after all. This is the part I wanted to get to. The Galaxies' marvelous rogues and misfits. From planets to planets to interstellar interlopers. These nomads defy expectations. I've been called a rogue before, so I want to see what they say. A Jupiter-like planet traverses our galaxy on a lonely journey, having been torn from the gravitational embrace of its host star Astronomers now think that rogue planets may outnumber the stars in the Milky Way. Rogue wandering planets out there. Interstellar interlopers. They come out of nowhere, circle the sun's gravity, and shoot back out into space. Oumuamua was the name of one of them. Ma'atua. Oh, that was Fletcher Christian's mistress in Tahiti. What is its origins? Maybe you can pronounce this if you're Hawaiian or Polynesian. Tell me how you would pronounce that. Well, I don't know because you don't have a way to get the audio to me. But anyway, it could have been born in the uber freezers of the cosmos, molecular clouds. But did it come and circle the sun? Objects are shown as they will appear on April 1st, 2021. You know what I think this is? I think this is an April Fool's joke on us. I don't think there are any giant planets that are going to come zipping around the sun and then go back out. Okay? So this is their little joke on us because there's the clue. April 1st. What edition is this? Ah, yes. April 2021. I'm going to conjecture that this is all a hoax to fool us. And they're having a good laugh at our expense. The outgassing of an interstellar comet. So was Oumuamua a comet, an asteroid, or something else? It was not spotted until it was well outbound. 40 days after whipping around the sun, astronomers lacked vital information about its behavior. Some proposed that it could be an alien spaceship or a solar sail. Okay. They didn't catch me on this one. I caught on that this is a hoax, most likely. The 1.3 meter telescope used by the optical gravitational lensing experiment monitors the brightness of nearly 2 billion stars. In addition to rogue planets, it has also uncovered over 2,400 Cepheid variable stars, mapped in yellow on this image of the sky above the observatory. This looks like the Milky Way, and all these little dots are supposed to be Cepheid variables. Yeah. Rogues revealed. So I don't know how much of this is fooling us or how much is real. Rings of debris are the most likely explanation for the mysterious dimming of Tabby's star, as seen in this artist's concept. The rings could be the remnants of planets, moons that escaped their host planets. If our moon escapes, it will be a planet. If it escapes our Earth's gravitational pull. The Cyber 2 mission will do something or other. NASA's Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, seen here in an artist's concept, is scheduled to launch later this decade. Nancy Grace. She's the one who does crime stories on, what network is that? It's not Lifetime. True Network something. Okay, trailblazing astronomers and their groundbreaking observatories. Here's the Nancy Grace Space Telescope again, similar in size to the Hubble Space Telescope. It will orbit the Sun alongside Earth from one of 5 gravitationally stable points in the Earth-Sun system. Okay. Is Nancy Grace here? No. Someone named Vera C. Rubin is monitoring. The Rubin Observatory, shaping NASA astronomy. The Roman Space Telescope wide field of view will allow it to image vast swaths of the sky in a single shot. Formerly infrared. These look like images from the 1960s, right? I think this lady is now this lady. Vera Rubin left, and Nancy Grace Roman. It's not the Nancy Grace on TV. Vera C. Rubin Observatory. Mars rules the night. I've seen Mars quite a bit lately. It's orange. If you go out to the night sky, look for the bright orange point of light. That's Mars. Planet viewing this month is limited to the evening and morning hours, with a broad stretch of nighttime being devoid of major planets. Mars drifts through Taurus and into Gemini, while Mercury and Venus make a late April appearance. Jupiter and Saturn start the month in Capricornus. Okay. You know, there's an app that you can get for your phone. Let me find it and show you. And it will show you, it's called it's free. If you get Star Tracker Lite, you can point your phone in any direction and it will show you what's there. That exact part of the sky. Constellations and special stars, the planets. Let's see what we can find with this here. Like there is Scorpio NYT, my wife. There's the Scorpion constellation, for which the Scorpio is named. And tracker, wait, let me remember this right to tell you. Star Tracker Lite, okay? So give that a try if you're ever bored. And you can point it any place in the sky, and it will explain to you what's there. Rising moon, Valentine Dome. Well, it was Valentine's Day not long ago. Meteor Watch, a springtime show. Lyrid meteor shower is coming April 14th to 30th. And peaks the morning of April 22nd. So we'll look for that one. Mars cozies up to 2 star clusters. Here's Mars. There's Taurus and Gemini. And these 2 star clusters here. I should look at it through my telescope if I can. Star Dome. How to use this map. For you flat earthers, this represents just a flat disk that little points of light are all stuck on out there. That it rotates around above the Earth. So that's what you're seeing, while the rest of us see the universe. But here's all the phases of the moon coming up in April. it looks like the full moon is on the 27th. So watch out for crazy people on the 27th. No, it says here the 26th. I was close. Right here is the full moon, 26th. But it's almost midnight when it occurs, so I was really close, right? I was only a half hour off. Here's the paths of the planets. What's your favorite planet? I've always kind of liked Saturn because it has those interesting rings around it. So some of the other planets have rings also, but they're not quite as visible like Jupiter does and Uranus does. I'm gonna skip the bad jokes. Neptune does, right? Sky this month, comet search. I don't think they'll be visible, comets, but we saw one. I made a video about it. We saw a comet last summer. Sea Spring's best Messier objects. Not messy, Messier. Here's a list of the 25 targets to help you make the most of your evening. Yeah, if you have a partner who likes to skywatch, then they have a whole calendar of things you can do. Things you can look for in the night sky. The Orion Nebula, perhaps the most famous deep sky object and the closest major star-forming region, just only 1,500 light years away. Yeah, that's like a few quadrillion times a few quadrillion miles. The Owl Nebula. I kind of like the colors of it. Looks like a strange eye. M5, the brightest globular cluster in the northern sky. Filters of observation. You have to use filters. Uh-oh. I have an interloper. Look, an interloper. We were just talking about you, babe, because let me show you why.
It's more than the 5 minutes.
See, guys, I told you I'm supposed to keep this video fairly short. We were just talking because we found you right there. Do you see? We found you there.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Scorpio and YT right there. Okay. All right. My video assistant says I have to wrap this up now because I made her be quiet for a while, which is quite difficult for a Filipino to do. And so, ooh, look, here's the anatomy of the sun. Tells you all about how it works. Maybe we'll do that in a future video. You know, because it would be interesting to discuss. Everybody sees the sunlight each day, but the vast majority of people have no idea how it works, right? So maybe I'll come back and we'll talk about it sometime. The whole solar system and how it all works. That would be interesting. The sun has an awful lot to do with our climate. And do you know the output of the sun varies? And our climate can vary based on the changes in solar output and based on the sunspot cycle, which is normally a 7-year cycle. We're in a period of quiet right now, and it's been too long since we had sunspots. So, anyway, they're showing you how you can observe the sun. let's see, before we wrap this up, oh, there's some stuff about eclipses. I made a video about the eclipse a few summers ago. We went and looked at it. Here's moon observing. Maybe we'll come back to astronomy in a future date. But I did promise her it would only be a half hour, that she had to remain quiet. And it's been more than that. So I'm going to wrap this up for now. I'm going to make her do an ASMR video because of this. So, yeah. Somebody said we should do a collaboration, a whisper video while we're watching the aquarium. Maybe we'll do that in the future sometime. Take care, everyone. Until next time, don't ASMR and drive. Bye-bye for now.